Hey everybody, so today's sequence is designed to open up those hips. So if you've been sitting a lot recently, this will be a really good class for you. So let's begin lying down on our mats, fully extended on the floor. And then just take a moment to settle in. Take a moment to relax the breath, relax the body, let the weight of the floor support you. Tune into the breath. Notice the quality of your breathing today. Inhale, nourishment. Exhale, let go of whatever you no longer need. And gently draw your right knee into your chest. So give your right knee a little squeeze. Let your left hip or left sit bone stay rooted down into the floor. Even engaging through the core here, lifting the navel towards the floor or press back towards the spine. And then keeping that knee with your left hand, you'll draw it across your body just slightly. So not all the way across the body, just about halfway. So you can start to feel the outer hip stretching. And if you'd like, you can always extend that leg straight. It'd be helpful to use a strap or belt here if you can't quite reach the foot. And then we'll come back through center. Have the right knee back into the chest. Extend the right leg long. And draw the left knee in. So now give your left knee a big squeeze as you press the lower back into the floor. Good, and then keep the knee with your right hand, draw it across your body, just about halfway. I'm still keeping my left shoulder blade down on the floor. I'm trying to target the area right in this outer hip. And maybe extending the leg if you have room. I don't really have room. Good, and then come back through center. Bring both knees up towards the ceiling, drop them down outside the ribs. Breathe here in the space of the pelvis, the lower belly. Allow that area to awaken. Good, and then draw your legs together, grab behind your thighs and rock and roll a few times. Until you cross your ankles, hands come out in front. Step your feet back to downward facing dog. So hips come high, spread the fingers wide. Your feet are at least hip distance apart, maybe even a little bit wider here. Good, and then just start to walk your feet forward. And once you get to the top, allow your upper body to hang down. You can have a soft bend in the knees. Maybe you sway a little side to side. Your variation of forward fold. Whatever calls for you today. And then bend the knees softly. Let's roll it up one vertebra at a time, nice and slow. Lift the shoulders up and back down the back, finding your Tadasana mountain pose. From here, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, look up. Exhale, step your left foot back to the back of the room and then drop your left knee to the floor. So allow your hips to press forward and down as you keep that right knee right over the ankle. And then keep the left hand on the floor or a block. Right hand comes to your hip. Start to open up through your chest. Start to stack the shoulders. And then gently press the right knee out to the side with your right hand. So I'm not actually pressing on the knee, I'm on the thigh. And look over your right shoulder if you'd like. Good, come back through center. Extend the right leg straight. Get a little hamstring and calf stretch here. Pull the toes back. You can even use your left hand to gently pull the toes back towards the shin. Good, and then re-bend your right knee. Walk your hands back once more so your shoulders come more over your hips. Right hand down, left arm up and over. Feel a really good stretch all the way through the left hip flexor, left side body. And then come back, hands to the floor, curl the left toes under, and step forward to that forward fold. Inhale to rise, arms reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands by your side. Inhale, arms reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. And then take a big step back with your right foot. Drop your right knee to the floor. Allow your hips to press forward and down here. Settle in, that left knee right over the ankle. If you have sensitive knees, you can always prop your knee up under a blanket. And then keep your right hand under your shoulder on the floor or block, and then left hand comes to your thigh and gently start to open up that knee. So I'm letting the inner arch of the foot lift up, opening up through the shoulder and the hip, lots of things. Good, and then release that. Left foot comes back to the floor. Extend your left leg straight, foot is flexed. You can even take the right hand and gently pull the toes back towards the shin even further. Good, rebend that left knee. Start to walk your hands back to lift the shoulders on top of the hips. Left hand stays down, right arm reaches up and over now. Towards your left knee, or towards the left side. Good, both hands come down to the floor. Curl the right toes under, lift the right knee up. Step the right foot forward, lift up halfway, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale to rise, arms reach up. And exhale, hands come down by your side. Now step to the long edge of the mat. Turn your toes out slightly, feet are a little bit wider than the hips. We're gonna come into a Malasana squat, but we're gonna move right into star pose to squat. So hands to heart center. Let's start to bend the knees, drop it down into a squat. Good, and then we're gonna press all the way up through the heels, reach your arms up, find length like a star pose, and then bend the knees, come all the way back down. Inhale up, reach through the fingers, exhale back to that squat. Let's do it 3 more times. Press through the feet, reach through the fingers, exhale, sit gently back down. 2 more. Last one. Good, now this time we're gonna hold the squat. So stay low, seat is between the heels. If you can't quite get the seat between the heels, just go out halfway. And then press the knees apart with your elbows and actively kind of press the knees back into the elbows. So elbows are pressing back, but knees are pressing back in at the same time. Find that tension, dynamic tension. Good, then take your hands to the floor. Turn the heels out, legs extend into a forward fold. Allow the upper body to hang towards the lower body. Maybe shifting the weight a little bit into the toes. You can even walk your hands back in line with your heels, or spread your feet even wider if you want to try to get the head down. Walk your hands back under the shoulders so you have a nice flat back. Maybe walk your feet a little wider and start to bend your right knee, extend your left leg. Now, you can go about halfway, or you can try to go all the way down to sit. This is going to stretch out through the inner and outer thighs, back of the legs, really doing a lot here. And if you want to try to find a bind, take your right arm in front of the shin, reach behind you, left arm reaches behind your back, reach for the left wrist with your right hand. Good. If you have the bind, release the bind, and then walk yourself to the left side so you bend your left knee and right leg becomes extended. Right foot can be flexed, you can come all the way down or halfway, you can even keep the foot on the floor, kind of working it that way. Just depends how open you are and what you want to do today. Left arm in front of the shin, right arm comes behind your back, reach for the right wrist, pull down, put up the shoulder a bit so you're opening up those legs. Good. Release. Come back through center, extend both legs, flat back, walk your hands under your shoulders. And then one more time, exhale, fold forward over those legs. Good, walk your hands back forward, lengthen through the spine, and then turn over your right shoulder to the front of your mat. Step your right foot all the way up and back, three-legged dog. This time, bend the knee now, open up the hip. Look slightly under your right arm. Keep pressing down into the floor. Lift that right knee up higher. Good, extend the legs square off the hips. Draw your knee into your nose, round your back, and then lift it up and back and flip your dog. So right leg steps all the way behind the left leg. I'm letting my left heel turn. Then I step the right foot down, press down through my right foot and the left foot to lift your hips up, reach the right arm forward. Right hand comes back to the floor, right leg lifts up, three-legged dog. Exhale right into warrior two. Right foot steps forward, left heel lowers down, arms reach out. All right, we're not going to be here too long in this warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2, but find a good stance. Reach to the fingers. Right hand's coming down on the inside of the right foot. Left arm reaches up. Now lean the torso back into that right knee. So now I'm feeling a good stretch in the inner and outer right thigh and hip area. And you can even take a bind here, left arm behind your back, right arm underneath the thigh, reach for the left wrist, and again, pull down on the wrist. Lifting that left shoulder up. If you want to extend that right leg straight into bound triangle, you can. And then rebend the knee. Right hand comes down, left arm lifts up, and all the way around, left hand to the floor now, right hand to your hip, open up. Look over your right shoulder. If you want, you can take it into dragonfly, reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling. Good, and then both hands come down to frame your front foot. Step your left foot up halfway. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Try to square off those hips best you can. Right hip slightly pulls back. Bend your right knee, step your feet back, downward facing dog. Now spreading those fingers really wide and push each and every knuckle into the floor. And then extend the left leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee and open up the hip. Look slightly under your left arm. Open from the hip more than the shoulder. So if you feel like your left shoulder is lifting up as well, see if you can drop your left shoulder down and then lift your left knee higher. Extend your left leg straight. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, lift it up and back. And then bend your knee behind your right leg, flip your dog, left arm reaches forward, right leg is straight, left knee is bent. And pressing into the left foot, but also the outer edge of that right foot. Good, both hands come down, left leg lifts up towards the ceiling, draw the knee to the chest, step the foot forward, lower that right heel, all the way up to warrior two. Good, now shoulders are right on top of those hips if possible. And then take your left hand down, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, the side angle B. Again, lean the shoulder back into the knee. See if you can lift your left ribs up towards the ceiling. And if you'd like, take a bind. Drop the right arm behind your back, reach for the right wrist, and pull down with that hand. So that you can lean back a little further over that left thigh. And if you'd like, try extending your left leg straight. Rebend the knee. Left hand down, right arm reaches up, forward, and down. Lift the back heel high, left hand to your hip. Moving into dragonfly, left arm reaches up. Both hands to the floor now. Extend your left leg, step your back foot up a bit so that you can feel the weight in the back foot almost as much as you can in the front. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, fold over that left shin. Sometimes it's helpful to see if your hips are squared just by taking your hand to your sacrum. And notice if you feel like your hips are tilted at all. Sometimes that can help you bring a little bit of body awareness. Inhale, lift the chest, flat back. Bend your left knee, step your feet back. Downward facing dog. Inhale forward to high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Good, and let's just come into a cobra. So walk your hands back a little bit, squeeze the elbows towards each other. Shoulder blades are squeezing in towards each other. Press down to the tops of the feet so the knees lift away from the floor. And look forward and down. Good. And then prop yourself up on your right forearm. Take your left, reach for your left foot with your left hand and start to bend your left heel towards your seat. You have the option of pressing the heel of your hand into the top of your foot to bring your foot a little bit more down. Then release, left forearm comes down, bend your right knee, reach for the foot, push the foot down outside the right hip. Good, and then release. Allow yourself to rest for a moment. Drop one cheek to the mat. Maybe even sway your feet a little side to side. Release any tension that might have just built up in the lower back. And then allow your feet, your legs to rest. Bring the big toes together, the heels apart. Maybe turn your head to the opposite direction. Good. And then come back upright. You're going to go to upward facing dog or high cobra. High cobra, shoulders are stacked right over the wrist. Upward facing dog. The only difference is you lift your knees and thighs. But shoulders keep dropping down towards the ground, away from ears. And then hips lift, downward facing dog. All right, when you think of hip stretches, this is really the one claim to fame for yoga. Right leg lifts. Exhale, draw the knee behind the right wrist and turn the foot out into this half pigeon. People love this pose. Extend your left leg straight back, I do too. And then walk your hands back to lengthen here. Now if you'd like, you can start to inch your right foot forward so that your right shin is parallel to the front edge of the mat. Right, and then maybe you fold over that right shin. Allow some softness in the upper body and the face. Sometimes when you feel tension, we clench all the face muscles. So just relax the face, the jaw, everything that you can control, relax. And feel the tension, go into the space, use the breath. Use the breath to dissipate some of that tension. Good, walk yourself up slowly. Now, if you had any props under your right hip, remove them because you're gonna slide this left leg up and forward. Left shin stacks right on top of right shin for double pigeon or Agni Stambhasana. Some say fire log, right? So shins are stacked, feet are flexed. If you have a huge space like myself under this left knee, you can always take a block and move and place that block under the knee. I do still have some blocks available on my website, and if you live in Toledo, I can always deliver them to you if you need any. But find some support under that knee, and then you inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head, exhale, hinge forward, and then every exhalation, maybe you'll be able to get just a little deeper here. So I was able to even remove my block and place it in front of me for some more support here. Breathe through this. Make sure that you have smooth, deep, even, calm breaths. Walk yourself back upright. And we'll move this into cow face or Gomukhasana. So you're going to keep this left leg on top of right, but we're going to start to bring the ankles out to the side and try to stack the knees. Okay, so this is probably one of my hardest poses. So I struggle with it often, but left knee is stacked on top of right. For me, I have a big space under my left hip, right? So we don't really want that space. So we could put a blanket under that hip, right? Prop a little blanket up. We could also just extend this right leg straight, right? Then the right knee doesn't need to be bent too. Then that really puts the sit bone down. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Make sure the knees are stacked, and then exhale, start to hinge forward. So you should be able to feel it even with this right leg extended. You might feel it in other places as well. Like I feel it more in the back of my right leg too. So I still try to have my knees bent sometimes if I want to. But yeah, if your left sit bone's really high like me, just try to root it down into the floor. Don't make any additional tension in the body. So no clenching here, no gripping. Just try to soften. So for me, this is my edge. I can't really go much further than this. Good, and then walk your hands upright if you're folded or more hinged. And take your left hand down and try to reach your right arm up and over. A little side bend to the left. Good, inhale, come back up. And then we will switch sides. So cross the ankles, hands come out in front, step your feet back. Downward facing dog. Take a moment if you need to sway the hips. Sometimes I like to take my feet a little bit wider here, shorten my dog a bit. Just kind of move a little more into the hips here. And then we'll switch sides. So sit up first, down dog, then left leg lifts up. Pull the knee in behind the left wrist, turn the foot out behind the right wrist, and slide that right leg straight back. Left leg is if your shin is parallel to the front edge of the mat, you'll want to flex the foot. If it's closer to your right hip point, then just point the toes. Walk your hands back to lengthen. You need to prop yourself up under with a blanket or a block under your left hip, that's a great option too. And maybe you're folding forward. If the breath starts to get jagged, smooth it out. If the breath starts to get shallow, deepen it. If there's any sharp shooting pains in the knee joint or the hip joint, get out of it. That goes with any time you're doing asana practice. Sharp shooting pains is like a signal from the body saying, watch out, caution. Injury's coming, right? Discomfort, this is normal. This is the practice of yoga, right? Finding that comfort in the discomfort. Good. Walk yourself back upright, lean to the left side, slide your right leg forward. We're going to stack those shins now. So if your left leg is not parallel to the front edge of the mat yet, do it now. And then stack your right shin directly on top of left shin. Again, you might notice here that one side your knee was really high and one side it's not. This is very normal. And I noticed for myself, even throughout the different days of the week, like one day they're completely flat and one day one's really high. So it's super normal, just the way it goes. This is why we practice daily, and it's called practice. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, hinge forward from the waist. Find the breath. Let the breath fill each and every cell of your body. Give you nourishment. Resilience. And start to walk your spine upright and then slide your right knee on top of left knee. Let those feet come out to the side. Your feet might want to come close to your sit bones or your hips. And that's great, but it's much harder if you take your feet out in the same line as your knees. All right, and hands at your ankles or your feet, lengthen through the spine here, and exhale, start to hinge, just so you find that edge where it almost like takes your breath away. Right before it takes your breath away, that's where you hold. You want to be able to breathe through these poses. It's really important to open up, to break up the fascia, to help lengthen the muscles and ligaments. Good. All right, walk yourself back upright. Right hand comes down, left arm comes up and over now. Take a side bend to the right. See if you can root that right sit bone down just a little further. Maybe you feel a little different sensation in the hips. And then come upright. Let's extend the legs long, give them a little shake. They might need some love. And then we're gonna come all the way down on the mat. So we'll do a few of the poses that we just did, but lying down. So a little different here. Take a moment if you need to kind of bring your knees in and out. And then we're gonna come into pigeon lying down. So you're gonna take your right knee up into the chest and then grab the foot with the left hand, start to turn out the knee. And now this might be enough here with your left hand on your outer edge of the foot and your right hand kind of pressing the right knee away. Or you can kind of lift your chest up a little bit more and take the foot in the elbow crease. And then my knees in that right elbow crease. And then just kind of gently using gravity to just kind of pull it down towards the ground. Making sure you're still not feeling any sharp shooting pains in the knees. Good, and then lift both legs up towards the ceiling. Cross the right knee directly on top of the left knee and take the feet out to the side. So this is Supta Gomukhasana, right? We just did this, cow face, legs at least. And then lift your head up and reach for your feet or ankles and then drop your head back down. See if you can pull your feet in towards your face. Again, be mindful if the feet are kind of close to your hips, it's not as effective as if the feet are up in line with the knees, and then you gently pull the feet forward towards your face, but without letting your sacrum lift off the floor. Good. And then extend the legs up, release the legs long, keep the left knee bent into the chest, and we'll do that same pigeon stretch with the left leg. So again, you're turning the left knee out to the side, and then you choose if you want to take it in the elbow crease or just have your right hand to your foot and gently pull the foot in. And just kind of explore here. Be really mindful and cautious with the movement. And breathe intentionally and deeply. Good. Lift both legs up, left knee's in front of right this time. Bend your knees, reach for your ankles, and then relax the head, neck, and shoulders down on the ground as you gently pull the feet in. Maybe you find a little more space here than you did seated. Good. Lift the legs up, unwind them, and take it into happy baby. Grab the soles of the feet. Good. And then take the feet back to the floor. Let the knees open out wide. Take the soles of the feet together. Allow your hands to rest on your abdomen, your heart. And just relax here, Supta Baddha Konasana. Take as long as you need here. Maybe even coming into extend your arms and legs into a full Shavasana corpse pose. Soften all the muscles in the face, the space between the eyes. Relax. Take your time. Namaste.